Everyone, I'm Coach Anyim and welcome to 3HW Academy Inner Circle Training Program. This is one of the module, and this module is called Identity Engineering. So once again, I want to say welcome everyone to our academy, where we challenge the status quo, where we push forward in life. We know that for a man to change his pocket, he has to change his habit. For a man to change his output in life, what he attracts in life, he has to change his character or behavior, his attributes. So today, I will be your host. I'll be talking about identity engineering. So welcome to our identity engineering section, where we do the engineering work in your identity. So I will take you through the lecture today, and I want you to give me a rapt attention. If possible, take your time, watch over and over again. Watch over and over again to understand this topic, identity engineering. Because if you can understand identity engineering, you will change your entire life. You will challenge status quo in your life, in your family, in everything around you. And that is why identity engineering is one of the key when it comes to creating the life you really want to live. Creating the life you really want. Identity engineering is the key. So you follow me as we run through this identity engineering. Now, identity engineering, behavioral and character adjustment training. Once again, I am Coach Anyim Donatus. I'm the founder of the 3HW Academy. Now, your identity is the story you tell yourself about whom you are. You know, sometimes people focus on some things that are good. They are not wrong, they are not bad. But sometimes I teach people that they can focus on something that is really good in life. As I've told you just now, that your identity is actually the story you tell yourself about whom you are. It includes, number one, your beliefs. Your beliefs. You know, there is a level you will upgrade, and you will begin to adopt some beliefs to yourself. And once you adopt these beliefs and you begin to behave your belief, because take it or leave it, we behave what we believe. If you can change your belief, you will change your identity. That is why you see what we do in 3HW Academy is to move people from what I call limiting belief system to a superior belief system. Once we succeed in moving you from a limiting belief system to a superior belief system, we have been able to shift your identity. We have been able to change your identity. Because once there is a shift in your thoughts, your brain, a shift in your thought, what will follow is a shift in your habits. Remember when we're talking about character, behavior, traits, we're actually talking about habits. So a shift in your thought will cause a shift in your habit, and that will cause a shift in your actions. What you do, what people see. Because people describe you with your identity. I want you to know this. People describe you with your identity. Once it's a shift in your action, what you follow is actually a shift in your output, your result, your performance. So whenever we are talking about identity engineering, it is a crucial matter, a crucial matter. I specialize in human operating system and identity engineering. That is why I call myself the HOS and identity engineering coach, because I know that if you can achieve this and your language changes, this is whom I am. It's no longer I am trying to become, I am struggling to become. This is my challenge. This is my challenge. No, your identity changes. Now, like what I said, your identity is the story you tell yourself about whom you are. It includes your beliefs, your values. I mean, your values. You know, a lot of persons focus much on goal. To pursue your goal in life is good. But remember that almost everyone, their goal is to succeed in life. Their goal is to succeed in life. So, most of the time, if you pursue your values instead of your goals, you are actually going to live a fulfilled life, not just a successful life. Because at the end, there is only one thing that is greater than success in life. I mean, there is only one thing that is greater than success in life, and that is what? Fulfillment. If you can live a life that at the end of your life, your journey, you live a fulfilled life. And how do you achieve that? If you can pay rapt attention, do everything I will be teaching you, repeat this training over and over, then I want to assure you, you are already on your way of creating a life of values and impacts. A life of what? Values and impacts. Your identity is the story you tell yourself about your self-image, your emotional habits, your language, and labels. Can you imagine somebody telling himself, this my anger, this my anger, once my anger starts, nobody can stop it. This my anger, once I start this my anger, you can't stop it too. You can't stop it too. Somebody is bragging with it. Do you know what? The person will be described. Do you know that young boy or that young girl, when his anger starts, you can't control it. You cannot control that his anger. That is an identity to that person. So, if you can identify some of those errors and amend them, it's your story. So that I'm taking time to explain what identity is all about. So that by the time you know that this is what identity is all about, you will know what to do. I will not be telling you. Number one, I say identity, it includes your beliefs. You behave what you believe. It includes your values. For instance, if you have your, maybe like personally, one of my values in life is that I respect everyone, irrespective of your age. Now, if that becomes your value, that you made up your mind to live your value, you discover that you live a more blessed life. Emotional habits. You know, a lot of persons allows their emotion to control them. Your emotion is the one that is in charge of your life, which means you have not had dominion over your inner man. And that is discipline. Discipline is your ability to create internal order. Discipline is your ability to be in charge, irrespective of your emotion. And those who live without discipline will always live a life of regrets. Because after carrying that action, you discover that what follows is regret. And that is why, if you can pay more attention and adopt some of this discipline, apply them daily, you create a better identity. You create a better identity. Now, let's continue. Let's differentiate between behavior and character, because all of them forms your attitude. All of them forms your habits. And that is why we are paying more attention to this today. We are paying more attention to this. Now, what is behavior? What is behavior? What is behavior? As you can see from the screen, that behavior refers to the way a person acts or reacts to people. Behavior refers to the way a person acts or reacts to people, situations, or emotions. It includes what you say, your words, what you do, your actions, how you respond to stress, correction, praise, or conflicts. So, when we are talking about behavioral and character adjustment, we are actually talking about you getting to the extent that you are in charge of your words. You are in charge of your words, your actions. You know, most of the time, people can just open their mouth and talk. They talk. They are not in charge of their words. They cannot really, maybe at the end, after talking, before they will know it, they have messed up. So when we are talking about behavior, we are actually try to understand that behavior is all about your words, what people hear from you, your actions, what people see you do, how you respond to situation, how you respond to stress, how you respond even when you are corrected. So people, once they are corrected, they switch off. So when you praise them, you look for trouble. Some persons, once there's conflict, they can't manage it. So, but one of the belief systems you need to have today, one of the belief system is that your behavior is what people see on outside. It is your outward expression. That is why it's important. Your outside expression matters. God looks on the inside, but man looks on the outside. Your outside expression. God looks at the inside, but man looks at the outside, your outside expression. For instance, hello boy, how are you today? I'm fine. Are you born again? Yes, I'm fine. Do you pray? Yes, I pray to God. Okay, that is what you are saying with your mouth. But look at your action. You are in the church. Prayer is going on. You open your eyes. You'll be thinking nobody is watching you, but your behavior is actually sabotaging your efforts. Because prayer is going on, you open your eyes, prayer is going on, you are not praying, you don't open your mouth to speak to God, but yet you say you're a Christian. Your behavior. Meanwhile, somebody is somewhere watching. Maybe the person leading is watching, and the person have seen, this young man is not following, this young man is not following, this young boy is not following, this young girl is not following. Maybe, what the person have seen, oh, I have that one. Always opening eyes when prayer is going on. It becomes what? Your description, your outward expression, your behavior. But let's go further. Let's go further. Examples of behavior. Talking back to an adult. There are people, young, old, teenagers, they talk back to adults. Their parent is talking, they are talking. An elder one, maybe their leader, maybe their coach, maybe their master, or maybe their boss is talking, they are talking back to an adult. It's a behavior. Slamming the door in anger. Maybe something will happen before you know you slam the door in an anger. It's a behavior. Then look at the other one, keeping promises. Here is this somebody that this person is described. He always keep promises. It's a behavior. This person, that man always keep promises. The other man, always helping people. It's a behavior. People see that, he love helping people. But here comes another one. Always lie to cover up, to avoid punishment. They say, this man lied, telling a lie to avoid punishment. That one that tells lies to avoid punishment. It's a behavior. People now knows. He have been able to. That is why he discovered that if you have to change, you need to change. Look at this one. Fighting. They know the person always fights. It's a behavior. I need to change it. Now, what is character? We've described behavior. I want you to really pay attention, understand this concept, because it will change your entire life. If you can understand this concept of behavior and character, and you go back and work on your behavior and on your character, you are on your way to create the kind of life you want. You are going to challenge status quo. Your trajectory will change. To change. Let's look at character. What is character? Character is the inner quality or moral strength that shapes your choices and behaviors. Character is the inner quality, while behavior is the outward expression. Character is the inward quality, while behavior is the outside expression. Character is the inward quality. Remember, most of the time when we teach, we tell people, if you lose money, you have lost nothing. You make money back again. If you are sick, you have lost something. But if you lose character, you have lost everything. That is why you need to move from the limiting belief system to a superior belief system. And you can do this by reprogramming the human operating system. And this is what this is doing to you. It is an engineering process, changing your view, your perception about life. Your character, the inner quality or moral strength that shapes your choices and behavior. Your character shapes your choices and your behavior. It includes traits like honesty, patience, kindness, self-control, loyalty, integrity in conflict. Integrity in conflict, in difficult situations, integrity. You know, the assignment here is, whom do you really want to be? Remember our mission in this identity engineering. In Psalm 144, in verse 12, that our sons may be as plants, that our sons may be as plants grown up in their youth, that our daughters may be as cornerstones, polished after the similitude of a palace. That is why we call it behavior and character adjustment palace. In a palace, there are attitudes, there are behaviors, there are characters, there are habits expected in the palace, the way you ought to live and comport your life. Now, it is your character that shapes those behaviors. To be list. You have been taught about to-do list. To-do list. A list, that is what they taught us before now. That success is all about you developing, I want to do this, 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 to-do list. But we are moving from to do, than we are moving to be a higher rank. We want to think, we are little gods. We think like gods. When God designed man, he designed man to be. He wants man to be like him. He wants man to be holy. He wants man to be healthy. He wants man to be happy. He wants man to be wealthy. He wants man to be. Where is your to be list? Have you ever sat down one day and design a list and say, this is my to-be list? I want to be faithful. Look at God, his attributes. You describe God by his attributes. I was giving an example of how you can be describing a young boy, that young boy that does not close his eyes when prayer is going on in the church. We don't want to be described that way. That young man that always flare up whenever he's corrected, or that young girl that always flare up whenever she's corrected. Do you want to be described that way? To be list, that is what we have become. Because what we have become is what you will be described with. Whom you have become is what people will describe you with. So why don't you sit down, settle down, write your to be list? That is the attributes you want people to describe you with. The attributes you want people to describe you with. That whenever they think about Coach Donatek, he's this, he's this, he's this, he's this. To be list. Very important. To be list. To be list. Today marks a new beginning in your life, because it is the day you are developing your to be list. After watching this webinar, after maybe you are in the live section, after watching it, please sit down, subscribe in the channel, give us a thumbs up if it resonates well to you. If you're happy with what we are doing, you have to subscribe and you have to give us a thumbs up. You have to like the video. You have to also share the video. You know, this is free. We want to. This is our own way of contributing to humanity. It's supposed to be a paid program, but it has been made free for you. Write your to-be list today, and that is the beginning of the greatest breakthrough in the history of your life. I want to be honest, to be kind. I want to be patient, have self-control, have integrity, and or to be pleased. That is your character. Now, take note. Your character is whom you are when no one is watching. That is why it's an inner quality. Your character is whom you are when no one is watching. It is your values in action. It is your values in action. Your character is whom you are. That is why your values. Have you ever sat down one day and said, these are my values? If you get to my house, those of you that have been to my home, my house, when you get there, you see my values hanged on my wall, designed and pasted there, my values. Because your character is who you are when no one is watching. It is your values in action. While behavior is what you do, character is what makes you choose what you do. Behavior is what you do. The way you behave, what you do, what people sees. While character is different. It's an inner values. The things that shapes your life. Connections between the mind and behavior. Now we are looking at another broader view, the connection between the mind and behavior. Your behavior always starts from your mind. And that is why we so much believe in mind reprogramming. A shift in your mindset, your perception. Your perception determines your belief. Your beliefs determines your decisions. Your decision determines your destination. Your perception. Your perception. Today, that perception is changing. It starts from your mind. That is what we call paradigm shift. A shift in your paradigm. The paradigm is a mental program that controls almost all our habitual behaviors. And all our behaviors in life are habitual, habitual. Tiny lifestyles, tiny actions. James Clear put it this way, that every action you take is a vote to the kind of person you wish to become. It's voting for you. You are watching this podcast now, this webinar, or this YouTube. It is an action. It's a vote that you want to become better. You pay attention to the end, you follow through, you do the assignment, perfect. It's mindset. It's your mind will tell you, no, don't need to do it. It's all about the mind, your mind. Are we faster? Identity engineering. Note, your thoughts become your feelings. Your feelings become your actions. Your action, your behaviors. Your thoughts becomes your feelings. That is why once there is a shift in your thoughts, take note, once there is a shift in your thoughts, because your thoughts becomes your feelings. Your feelings becomes your actions, your behaviors. Your repeated action form your habits. Repeated actions, repeated behaviors forms. That is why sometimes I don't jump into, I talk about maybe habit. Currently, we are reviewing atomic habits, and you can join us. Habit. But we also focus on your behavior, because your repeated actions, your repeated behavior is your habit, and your habit becomes your character. Your habit becomes your character. People know you with your behavior, your character. Ah, that angry brother, that angry, that sister that is always uh, uh, not cheerful at all. Anytime you see her, she's moody. Anytime you see her, that sister, her emotion, nobody can control her emotion. You described and labeled yourself. You labeled yourself. You did it. Here is the flow. Thoughts. You think, I am angry. They don't respect me. That is how I start. You think, that is your thought too. You are thinking that the reason why you are angry because they don't respect you. Your feeling, you feel hurt or disrespected. In your thoughts, you're thinking, these people, they don't respect me. They don't respect me. The feeling will set in. And once the feeling sets in, you feel hurt. You feel depressed, unhappy. Repetition of this is your behavior. You shut out. Once this happens, anything time this one happen, you shut, or you put on a particular flight mode. Your emotion changes. Repetition, when you keep doing this every time, it becomes your habit. The result is that people start to describe you as aggressive or rude. They begin to describe you what? As aggressive or rude. Listen carefully. That is why we focus on. Once there is a shift in your thoughts, there will be a shift in your habits. There will be a shift in your action. And there will be a shift in your output. So I say the way it flows from your thoughts, they think I am angry, they don't respect me, the feelings set in, you feel hot or depressed, your behavior, you shut, or you go into a flight mood. Your mood swings. Everybody will know that your mood have changed. Repetition, you keep doing it every time you are upset. You keep doing this every time you are upset. The result, that is the output. We so much believe in you thinking into result. You think into result. The result, the output, people start to describe you as aggressive or rude person. The mind is the central, is the control center. The mind is the control center. If your thoughts are full of negative, you will behave negatively. If your thoughts are full of negative, you behave negatively. Yeah, that is it. Negative thought, you behave negatively. Positive thought, you behave positively. That is how it is in life. Connection between behavior and discipline. The connection between behavior and discipline. Discipline is the ability to control yourself, even when it is hard, It's doing what is right, not what is easy. Discipline is the ability for you to control yourself even when it is hard. It is doing what is right even though no one is watching you, not what is easy. For you to be disciplined, discipline is the key. Recently I started teaching people in most of my classes. There are two things that distinguishes a man, that makes a man unique: grace and discipline. Grace and discipline will get you anywhere. Grace comes from God, discipline comes from you. Two, grace and discipline will take you to the sky. As I've said, grace comes from God. Discipline is the ability for you to control yourself. It is an internal order. The ability for you to give yourself instruction and keep to it. The ability for you to tell yourself, I am going to do this, and you are doing it. It becomes a new identity. This is whom I am now. Even when it is hard, it is doing what is right, not what is easy. Behavior plus discipline is equal to character. Behavior plus discipline is equal to character development. Examples. I want you to look at the following examples. Part 1. Without discipline, you feel lazy. You skip your homework, you fail. With discipline, you feel lazy. But with discipline, you push yourself. You do the work, you succeed. Can you see? Without discipline, from today, I've changed my identity. I am a disciplined person. It's not that I am trying to discipline myself. No. There is this language: fake it until you make it. From today, I am disciplined. You can say that to yourself. I am disciplined. Now, without discipline, you feel lazy, skip homework, and fail. With discipline, you will still feel lazy. But with discipline, you will push, do the work, and succeed. So, discipline trains your behavior to obey your values. Discipline trains your behavior to obey your values. Discipline trains your behavior to obey your values, not your emotion. A lot of persons are being ruled by emotion. But discipline trains your behaviors to obey your values. That is why you need that values on the wall of your house. That is why you need your to-be list, a list where you have written whom you really want to be. It's on your wall and you are working with it daily. Number 3, a disciplined behavior will be staying calm when corrected. An undisciplined behavior will be talking back and storming off. When you are disciplined, you are staying calm. Even when you are corrected, you are in charge. You respond, not reacting. Discipline is the bridge between what you know you should do and what you actually do. The bridge between what you know you should do and what you actually end up doing, the bridge between them is discipline. Without discipline, there will be no fulfillment. You can have money, feel you have success. You have success. But I've said there's only one thing greater than success. That is fulfillment. 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 Now, relationship between behavior and character adjustment. Your behavior is the effects, not the cause. Your behavior is the effect, not the cause. The cause is the way you see yourself, your identity. The cause is the way you see yourself, your identity. Take, for instance, you have two people that are smoking before now. Two of them are smokers. Now, a day come, both of them say, we are going to stop smoking. Now, this particular person sees himself, I am a smoker, but I want to stop smoking. But this one has been able to work on his identity and say, I am no longer a smoker. I am not a smoker. I have a new identity. I am not a smoker. From that day, the person sees himself, he sees himself as not a smoker. While the other one, he sees himself as a smoker who wants to change. The other one has a new identity. I am not a smoker. The other one has the old identity. I am a smoker, but I want to stop. So your behavior is the effects. So you start behaving according to your identity. It is not the cause. The cause is how you see yourself. That is why your identity is the story you tell yourself about yourself. If you try to adjust behavior like procrastination, lying, aggression, or laziness without changing the identity behind it, the change won't last. That is why some people do a lot of things and it doesn't take time and it is all over. The change won't last. The change won't last. Behavior and character adjustment. So if a teenager struggles with lying, laziness, rudeness, lack of focus, poor hygiene, it is not just about forcing them to act better. It is about engineering a new identity. I love this word. Oh, I love this word. It is about engineering a new identity. I love it. Engineer a new identity. Engineer a new identity in them. And that is what I'm doing to you. As you are watching and hearing me, I am engineering a new identity inside you. When you engineer a new identity, those old behaviors will no longer make sense. When you engineer a new identity, those old behaviors will no longer make sense. It becomes obsolete. They will you just replace them with your identity. I want you to get it right. You are replacing those old behaviors with a new one, a new identity. That is the only way they can go. If you don't replace them, they won't go. So you have to write a new script. And the new script is your to-be lists. Everyone watching this video, you comment on the comment section. If what I'm talking about resonates well with you, please give me a thumbs up on the comment section while watching. Give me a thumbs up, give me a like. And again, go back, sit down, write your to-be list. I want to be this. I want to be this. God wants you to be. Whom you become determines what you do. To be lists. Write it. Print it boldly. Put it on your wall. You can frame it. Put it on your wall. Every day tell yourself, this is whom I am. I'm not trying to be. I am someone who is truthful, irrespective of the condition. And that is whom a child of God should be. I am always truthful. You are not trying to, no, you are always truthful and you know it. It's your identity. That is the identity we have in Christ as a child of God. We become co-heirs with Him. And those are the attributes. We will be described it. God have attributes. We describe God that God is merciful. We say God is holy. We describe God that God is faithful. His attribute. He has a list of things we describe Him with. What do people describe you with? your list of whom you have become. You can change those negative words to be this. Here is how it can create a new identity and adjust your behavior and your character. Here is how it can create. Number one, the steps you can take. Recognize the current identity. Recognize your current identity. Ask a question. Who do I believe I am? Who do I believe I am? What label do I have? What label do I use to define me? You use to define you. The label. What behavior flows from this identity? That is the first step. Sit down. Example. I'm just naturally angry. You know it. I am just naturally angry. It's an identity. I'm not saying it has been there, but note it down. I'm just naturally angry. You will keep reacting with anger until this identity changes. You have to change this identity that you already label yourself. I am naturally angry. Some people will tell you it is my anger. Once this my anger comes, nothing can stop it. That is my person. That is whom I am. You don't even try to change me. They will tell, this is my anger. My anger is bad. Though. In fact, before you start discussing with you, they will tell you, my brother, my anger is bad. They claim it. It's your identity. It is your anger. It is not my own. I don't have anger. I am calm. I am the type that has control over my spirit man. The Bible says, he that does not have a control over his spirit man is like a city without a wall. Why will you claim what God has not given to you? Has God given you the spirit of anger? Is it coming from God? Is it a gift from God? Is it a fruit of the spirit? The gift of anger? This my anger. This my anger. My anger no good. Oh. No, 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 no. That identity is changing today. Now, decide on the new identity. Decide on the new identity. The one you want to use to replace the old one. Decide on the new identity. The new identity you want to use to replace the old one. Decide on the new identity. Create a clear image of the version of yourself you want to be. Create it. This is you. Let there be another image, what you are seeing in your front, the image of yourself. And this image of yourself should carry the to be list. That is why I say write your to be list. Those lists of new identity, new character, new be. I'm not talking about I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a lawyer. That is your profession, that is your career. I'm talking about the attributes, what you will be described with. So decide on a new identity. I am respectful and calm person. It's a new identity. It is no longer I'm trying to be, I want to be respectful. I want to be respectful. In your identity, I am respectful and calm person. I am honest. Even when it is hard, I am honest. It becomes a new identity that you know yourself. I am honest even when it is hard. You're using it to replace those old identities. I am focused, driven. When people, like most of the time, I tell people I am consistent. I am focus driven, and that allows distraction. We live in a current distracted world that if you don't have these attributes, that if you don't have this identity, the world will distract you. The social media will distract you. The world will control your life. They will. I take responsibility for my life. This is your engineering identity. You are engineering a new identity. You tell yourself, I take responsibility for my life. You know, sometimes a lot of persons say, it is my father, it is the government, it is this. They send the responsibility. It's because my father didn't send me to a good school. It's because my father didn't send me to a private school. No, it is not. It is the story you have been telling yourself. And these stories has to change. Step 3. Align new beliefs and values. Align new beliefs and values. Your to-be list. I keep saying it. Your to-be list. Write it. After watching, write it. After watching this webinar, write it down. Your to-be list. List them one after the other. Now ask, what does this new identity believe? My new to-be list, what does it believe? Because I behave what I believe. What does it believe? What habit does this new person have? You can give yourself a new name with a new identity. The new name may help you to remember this is whom I am, so that you always act based on your new identity. How does this new person speak, think, dress, and act? If you know me before personally, you know I have a new identity, a new one. From I don't like reading to I am the kind of person who learns something every day. I am that kind of person who learns something every day. That is why I teach people. You don't listen with your ears. You will just hear sounds. Maybe as you're hearing me, if you're only listening with your ears, you'll just be hearing sound from Donatech. But if you can listen with your mind, when you listen with your mind, you will be hearing words of transformation. You will get impacts. Impacts. Now, let's proceed and try to wrap it up. Number 4, act as if. Act as if. Start behaving as if the new identity is already true. Start behaving that way. Don't wait to feel motivated. Act like a respectful person acts. Speak like a focused person speaks. Repetition of behavior reinforces identity. It is all about repetition. Act that way. Fake it until you make it. You have to behave like the rich to become rich. You have to think like the rich to become rich. Change your thinking, your perception. Act it. I am the type that I don't take junk food. It's an identity. And you begin to behave it every day. You act it every day. I don't take junks. It's an identity. Why? My body is the temple that I've got to live in. And I have to treat it special. It's an identity. It's a mindset. It's a superior belief system. When we're talking about this identity, I'm talking about a superior belief system. What you believe. Because identity is the story you tell yourself. Your belief. That's why we say you have to move from limiting belief system to a superior belief system. Step 5. Reinforce the new identity. Reinforce the new identity by you can journal daily. How did I act? Like the new me today can take it down. Like you are intentional at this time. At this point, you are intentional with what you are doing. You are intentional. Celebrate small win. Now you can show discipline by maybe waking up early, you celebrate it. You say, I wake up early, you celebrate it. Celebrate little wins. You are engineering a new identity, you wake up early, use affirmative words. I am responsible, I am in control, I choose growth. You tell yourself, example for behavior adjustment, let's say a teenager is known for being lazy and unmotivated. You are known for being lazy and unmotivated. You can decide to change it. Look at it, your old identity. I don't like hard things. I don't like hard things. I will never change. I always give up. I've met a lot of persons. In the financial intelligence section of the 3HW Academy, I've met a lot of persons. They will tell you, I always give up. They will tell you openly, with what is going on now, I'm giving up already. I've met a lot of persons, they will tell you, forget it, I cannot change. They will tell you, don't even disturb yourself. You can't change me. This is whom I am. That is the way I've seen myself. They take to faith. Instead of coming to a superior belief system, faith. We have FATE. That is how it is. That is how it will remain. There are those who believe that they can move from limiting belief system to a superior system. New engineering identity. New engineered identity. I am a young person with drive and discipline. A new story you are telling yourself, a complete, entire new story you are telling yourself. I am a young person with drive and discipline. It becomes an identity to you. I always finish what I start. In our financial intelligence section, I tell them we started this project 2022. We are finishing 2025. I tell them I don't start and finish halfway. I always finish what I start. It's a new identity. I am becoming more focused each day. It's a new identity. I am a focused person. It's a new identity. I don't give myself to jogs. It's a new identity. This is what I do. You keep claiming it, impute it, drive it from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind. That one is a story for another day. When we get into the conscious mind and subconscious mind, although I have some other lessons in this channel that I'll talk about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. By repeating this identity through speech, journaling daily, routines, and visual courses, the teenager begin to act in the new way because their self-image has changed. There is a new installation, a new upgraded software in your human operating system. I'm a computer engineer and I love system engineering so much, and I love I brought out the operating system is a language of the computer software. So, but we're not talking about the human operating system. You can upgrade to a superior belief system. Tools for identity engineering. Pay attention to this. The tools for identity engineering. Mirror talk. Speak new identity out loudly, daily. You can do it daily. You can take this to yourself and say, daily I will do this. You take this to this new identity, you speak it daily. Visual board. You can craft a visual of your new you, write it, new me. You draw this image of yourself. You can give yourself a new name, new me, and you work with that visual. Then we have what we call character contract. Write a letter of commitment to your future self. You sign a contract inside you. You sign a contract inside you. Write that letter and sign the contract. Write the letter to yourself. This is my new me. This is my to-be list. There's another word, optional environmental shift. Surround yourself with people and space that support the new identity. You must surround yourself with people and space that support the new identity. That is the key. Accountability partner. Someone who reminds you who you are becoming. Accountability. A lot of persons run away from accountability. I've seen it. They don't want to be accountable to anyone. Oh, submit this assessment or submit this assignment. No, they don't want to be accountable to anyone. But that is one of the ways to engineer a new identity. This is whom I am. This is whom I am. I am accountable. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. A lot of persons focus on goals. At the beginning of the year, they write their goals. Going to high school, they'll write their goals. Starting a new business, they write their goals. Getting into a new industry, they write their goals. In their family, they write their goals. That is good. But the truth you have to hear today, according to James Clear, the writer of the Atomic Habit, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You actually fall to the level of your identity. That is why identity is the key. Change who you believe you are, and your character and behavior will naturally adjust to match that identity. Change whom you believe you are, and your character and behavior will naturally match that, adjust and match that identity. You behave what you believe. Change whom you believe you are. So once again, I want to say thank you for the time you have spent with me. I am Coach Anyim Donatus. I'm the founder of the 3HW Academy. Now, vision is to establish and operate this academy. And we are focusing on the divine plans of God for humanity. One of them, the Bible said that, beloved, I wish above all things, that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. That is why we say you can be holy, happy, healthy, and wealthy. 3HW Academy. The result we want to see in your life. What can be more than that? In your life, you are holy. Nothing bigger than it. You are happy. Nothing bigger than it. You are healthy. Nothing bigger than it. You are wealthy. Of course, that is what everyone wants. Your result. A shift in your thoughts. A shift in your habits. A shift in your action will produce a new output. Your results. You can create a new identity.